being a successful trader, 99% of it for me is emotions. 1%, I've got like 10 guys calling out levels with me daily. I got 10 guys on group chats. We're all talking as a family. If you can find that, all you need to do is control your emotions, because someone's going to see something that you don't. He's going to see something that he doesn't. And then you guys are all going to trade together and you're going to do well.
Hey, welcome back. Here at the Market Mamas podcast, I cover a wide range of topics from the intricacies of day trading to mindset mastery and psychological growth, with the goal of the conversations being next level growth for all of us. My name is Becky, and I'm a US-based futures day trader from the Pacific Northwest. My trading experience includes trading stocks, options, crypto, and futures, with both trading a personal account as well as with prop funding companies. Over time, I found that I most enjoy the fast-paced world of intraday futures trading, so that is my primary day trading focus now. Thank you for joining me on the Market Mamas podcast today. Hey guys, welcome back to Market Mamas. And I love talking to traders of all different scopes and practices. And I've talked to some traders who have been in the game for 25 years, traders who have developed coaching businesses and work in the mindset world. But I want to hear about all aspects of trading. And I'm beyond excited to talk to this trader today, because he is newer to the trading game, but understands it on a level that I think take a lot of us a lot longer to get to. And so I want to literally pick his brain so that maybe I can make all of our journeys a little bit more smooth. So Lucas, thank you so much for being my guest at Market Mamas today.
Of course. So happy to be here. So happy. Excited to, get into my brain a little bit more, because I'm learning about myself every day on this trading journey, and expressing it today will be awesome for me as well. So
That's great. Honestly, I think the more times we have conversations around trading and our growth and our development, it makes us all stronger. Like, I get to be in the trading psychology space all the time because I work at Blue Sky and the podcast and the rooms that I'm in. And every conversation, it shores me up on who I want to be and how I want to behave and why I do what I do. And so I think that there's so much benefit in people just showing up for conversations like this, because the more you hear something, the more it seeds deeper in your brain if you need sort of some development.
Yeah, no, 100%. Definitely agree.
So you spent most of your adulthood being a professional baseball player, right?
That is true. 17 years old to about 26 years old.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fast draft, which is, honestly, I heard your story about how you were drafted, and it's amazing. I kind of want to dig into it now, but it was told so well when you were on the podcast with Justin at Blue Sky. So I want to link that in the description, because I want you guys to go hear it. But what happened is, when I heard that interview, I was like, I need to talk to this man. I want to bring him on my podcast, because I have done some research into this space. And obviously I've been a trader for about 5.5 years. And I have heard multiple times that hedge funds and large funding companies will actually hunt professional sports athletes when they're at the end of their career, because they've had a successful career in something that requires exceptional discipline. And so the way that goes into potentially the trading field with certain athletes' brains is powerful leg up. Has that been your experience, do you think?
I would definitely say, in the things I kind of mentioned before we got into this about what I'm passionate about, I lock in on a different level that I would say a lot of people do. And that's not, I'm not braggadocious about it. It's just kind of how I am. I become obsessed in a good way, while still managing my relationships and, my personal life. But yeah, when I get into something, I dig right into it. And there's many reasons on why I did on trading. There's specific reasons why and what opportunity all of us have right now in front of us at the clicks of a fingertip on your phone, even,
Wild.
So yeah, I feel that's how I am in a lot of things. And again, when I'm into something, I'm really into it and I give it my all, and I don't stop until I'm successful, I like to say, so,
Yeah.
or try to be.
You're the side that you're in, which I love that you said that you're passionate about it, because I talked about this a couple months ago in a different episode, because I actually think that passion for the game of trading is a major factor in the traders that stick with it, because you're going to take losses and it's going to really hurt when you have your initial experience of everyone falls in love in the beginning and then it hurts for a minute, and however long that is different for everyone's journey. But to decide to persevere through that, I think you have to see the potential and have a passion and a drive to achieve it. And when you spoke to that, it totally reminds me of my experience as well, of trying to have to decide that you really love it and engage, and then you have to go all in.
Yeah. I apologize to everyone going forward. I will be relating a lot of this stuff to baseball. So if you don't like baseball, I'm sorry. But everything always circles back to baseball, because that was my beginnings. That was where I kind of started this entire journey of, mindset and discipline and, going after something that a lot of people don't have the opportunity to do and not squandering that opportunity.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think it's a different level of respect for the game when you come to trading, recognizing that it is a tremendous opportunity. And I do believe that the stock market is abundant and there's a lot of opportunities everywhere, but you have to drill in and really be careful and intentional with taking responsibility for the opportunities. So I am actually really hoping you drill into your baseball analogies, because I think that there's so many parallels though to that sort of dedication that you have to experience in that role.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Okay. So you started trading just in February, March of this year.
Exactly. I started like studying in February, the end of it, and started trading in March. March was my first month and my first profitable month.
Dude. Okay. So you were profitable in your first month trading. I just want to repeat that for anyone who like thinks that their hearing went out for a minute, because that's actually very rare. So cheers. Why do you think that happened?
So I had a good and awesome mentor who taught me everything like a baby in the beginning, like the stuff that I didn't understand, because I've already have been in this space with investing for a long time, crypto and S&P 500 stuff, ETFs, all that stuff. So I know like what investing is. I knew what the Nasdaq was. I knew what the S&P 500 was. I knew what gold was, like all of that. I even knew a little bit about futures, but only on the crypto side of things, and made some money there and lost some money there. So I knew about it, but I didn't know like how to read a chart and how to understand the Nasdaq and how to look at the red folder days and understand, when you should and you shouldn't trade, and all the rules that you need to, learn with each other and yourself. So how I began, just talk to that guy. I paid him. I figured, I can't, in life, you can't just get things for free. You got to pay to play sometimes. And luckily I had a good friend who gave me this guy's contact information, and that was a good mentor. It wasn't a scammy mentor. It wasn't someone selling a pipe dream. He was super realistic about things from the get-go. And so was I. So he was realistic and I was realistic. I knew that a lot of these guys, and I want to go into something too. Don't let me forget about this. When it comes to discords and when it comes to making money, I'm sure you have profit flexes in some of your discords, like post your winnings here or whatever discord that you're in. Like there's like tap to show people
Yeah.
like all my people
Best
in this,
trade.
what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Most of them have it.
Extremely toxic in my opinion.
Yeah.
Okay. And not like, oh, I'm bragging about how much I'm making. No, no, no. It's looking at those things as a new trader, and you
Yeah.
see, someone in there, my buddy Kevin's posting a $15,000 day, and I'm brand new and I just blew an account. I think seeing those numbers are so bad for new traders. And I knew that going into it. I was like, oh, this is bad. Like, I want to set a level of expectations that I can actually achieve, and I called
Yeah.
it the small wins.
I love that you're saying that, because I completely understand with you too. And I am not team like share your big wins, because it can really hurt people in ways of like maybe someone is going through something else and having a very different day. And also you don't have to have the big wins to make really impactful money. And I
No,
want that to be a message for the young traders, that you don't have to have these crazy outsized days to meet all of your goals. And in fact, that will mess you up shooting for those numbers where you just try and get like the base hits, which actually was one of my favorite analogies of recent years. And now I'm like, oh, I'm a real baseball
it's a
player.
baseball.
But it adds up in a
Well,
serious way.
a lot of base hits to get your average up, So I don't
Dude.
want to get too sidetracked. We're talking about how I started, right? So that's how I started. I saw everything for what it was at face value of like what opportunity we had, how much money you can make, but in all reality, how much money you can make by just getting a couple base hits a day, right? So, and that's how I started. Like I went into this saying, all right, I want to get one account funded. I want to just do $300 a day. $300 a day keeps the 9 to 5 away, and I've really didn't want to be a millionaire off this. I'm not a millionaire. I don't know if I'll ever be a millionaire, but all I knew is I want to find a way to make passive income, realistically. And doing $1,500 to pass an account in one day, and then the next day you get 3,000. Like a lot of guys shoot for that. I'm like, man, I did that on my first 2 days. I fasted an evaluation, and I
Nice.
was like,
Dang,
wow,
yo.
that's cool. But all I want to do is 300. So if I can do $1,500 2 days in a row, pretty sure I can do 300 one day at a time,
Yes.
and I
Yeah.
knew the power of a funded account at once you're there. So yeah.
Right. I think that there's so many ways that you can allow trading to build. And now that the world of funding accounts, like they weren't really that big when I started, but then once they started, the opportunity is impressive because you can have multiple accounts and you can be building them up and capitalize on them differently and spreading out your risk
across different accounts. Like there's so much opportunity that you don't have to hit one grand slam with all of your leverage and essentially full port your trading. So there's so much risk with that. And you're putting so much on the table, because if you get those big grand slam days, a lot of times your size is pretty big. And if it goes against you, that could be a big hit and set you back. So like having your range reasonable within what you're very capable of achieving will build up so much faster than having huge highs and low swings.
Yeah, scaling accounts is really important, but I've also learned about myself, and scaling is exciting, but I get to a point where I just can't manage them. I get anxiety, I get a little bit of FOMO, like I have 5 fundeds, like I got to do all 5 of them. No, you don't. And then I've lost accounts because I was like pushing too hard to get all 5 done. Because in April, if you want to talk about my first month and then my second month.
I really do.
Okay.
Yes, please.
So we'll talk about April, and I'll get into what I was about to say because it has a lot to do with how I trade.
Set it up.
The first month was amazing. The second month was the worst month I've had. First month was great. I now have had better months than that, which is such a blessing. But the second month taught me everything that I needed to know about trading and myself.
Yes.
Okay. So the second month, I got, I would say, a little bit arrogant. Like a lot of baseball players at the highest level are there because they are a little arrogant. They have
There's some ego.
A little bit of an ego because you are at the top of the game and you have to walk around 25 other guys on your team that are just as good as you, if not better. And you got to say, I'm the man. When I get on the mound, because I was a pitcher, right? And a pitcher. When I get on the mound and I'm going up against that team today, they're trying to take my job from me. Yeah, they're on the other team, but they're trying to take my job.
Yeah.
By making me look bad, right? So you got to go up there thinking, I'm the man. No one can touch me. I'm going to strike every single of these guys out or whatever it is. My teammates are going to help me. All other 8 guys behind me, right? So you got to have that a little bit of arrogance. And I went into April, brand new trader, just did really well my first month with a little bit of too much of that arrogance. And that's okay because I'm new to this. And I went through 80 evaluations in 1 month. Blown. I'm pretty sure I passed not a handful of them. I'm pretty sure I passed like 10 or 12 of those. And I blew those too. And that was a really big eye-opening moment for me. And the reason that I was eye-opening was because I went through so many. I was like, whoa. I made $7,200 my first month. My second month, I lost $8,000 like that.
Yeah.
You know,
it happens fast.
And I thought this prop firm stuff was supposed to keep our capital outlay low. You know what I'm saying? It can.
It can.
It can. I did not that month. And so one of the biggest things I learned was no more copy trading. And I had people who brought me into this industry yelling at me, Luke, what are you doing? Why are you copy trading so many? You just copy traded 5 accounts and passed them? It's like, yeah. He's like, don't do that when you're funded. What did I do? Copy traded all 5. When I was funded, blew all 5 first day. Okay. So I had to go through those moments to learn about myself, and what you can get FOMO, you can get greedy, you can get, just impatience. And patience is a huge part of this. I'm sure there's a lot of stuff that you guys want to talk about patience too. And baseball, how patient you have to be. I'll bring it that. There's so many things. There's so many things. The podcast could be 5 hours long.
This is why I needed you. I was like, I know he's got these gems just on the tip of his tongue.
Okay, so here's a correlation between baseball and being a pitcher and being patient on the chart, right? I was a starting pitcher. I had to pitch every 5th day, okay? Good, bad, ugly, win or lose. I was only allowed to pitch every 5 days. So that day was really important. Like, I have 4 days in between my next start. So if I did really, really, really bad, guess what? I have to stomach it. I have to let it linger. I have to be patient until the next time I can start. And I'm thinking about it every moment I'm awake until I'm on the mound again to fix what I did last time and help my team win. This is a solo sport, being a trader, it's solo. But, I had to help my team win. So that created a ton of patience in me because I couldn't just get back out there. And
you literally couldn't fix it now.
I literally couldn't fix it. Game's over. And I have to wait 4 more till the 5th day to redeem myself for my team and myself mostly.
Yeah.
And trading is all about patience. You got to
Oh.
establish the patience.
In trading, if you do have the potential, it's a solo sport. You're at home on your computer. You can just buy a new account and try and fix it right then. But you know what happens? You just blow more. In that situation, if you're already emotional and you're feeding that energy of like, this is bullshit, I want it back. No, but if you force yourself to just say, this day didn't work out, I'm going to back off. Tomorrow will be a new day. You let your emotions reset. That's so much better of a setup for success. And so that's exactly the similar situation, kind of.
Yeah, exactly. Now, one more thing is
Yeah.
now there's different types of pitchers. There's starters and there's relievers. And this is important because I also was a reliever towards the end of my career because I started throwing harder. I got bigger and stronger. It's typical as you get older. If you're an athlete pitcher, you start throwing harder. It just comes with it. So there's also a lot to do with being a reliever and being a trader. Okay. Reliever, you can pitch 1, 2, 3 days in a row, potentially, depending on how your body feels and if you're honest with your manager. And as a reliever, if you don't do well, you're most likely going to have to pitch the next night again because you don't have an unlimited amount of pitchers. Now, I don't know if you see where I'm going into this, is you have to have a short-term memory as a reliever. You also have to have one as a starter because
Let it
you only
go.
have 4 days in between. You got to let it go. And as a reliever, even more so. And as a closer, if you're coming into the game and you blow it, guess what? Your manager's not going to hate you for that. Yeah, we're going to lose a game tonight. That sucks. But guess what? Tomorrow, you're back on the mound as the closer.
Yeah.
You're back on the mound as a reliever because you do pitch a couple days in a row sometimes. And the manager won't lose trust in you in one day. So guess what? You have to learn how to have a short-term memory. Forget about what happened yesterday. Whatever.
That's good.
Today's a new day. And that's so important. If you take
the faster you can let negativity run off you, you'll be reset and ready to do your best the next opportunity. And that's so important for a fast recovery and turnaround.
Yeah. And I hope all of you traders listening find some way to let that bead right off your back and get on the charts the next day and be successful because, man, letting something snowball, it's just not cool. So that red day that you have, that bad day on the mound, it doesn't matter. Tomorrow's a new day. We're going to get really good CPI data. We're going to make a lot of money,
Yeah. Yeah. The days on the market are different each day. And if you can truly just show up as your best self, I like to frame it, which took me a long time to actually adjust, longer than it should have. But the losing days, you have to take them as lessons as traders. You have to let them be, this day taught me something. Either I'm over leveraged or I'm trade copying, or I just didn't see it. I didn't stop after one hit. Let the lesson happen and then let it go. Because if you're going to continue to be a day trader, you can't sit in negativity because that will color your way that you respond to things. And you have a worse chance of succeeding after by holding on to negativity.
100%. I mean, you see the reels on Instagram, people I see this one guy, Nick Does Futures on Instagram. He's really funny. He'll post videos about how he's cleaning the house, doing laundry, blah, 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 had a winning day, he's doing everything. And then he makes another reel about when you don't win, you're just kicking your cat. You're kicking everything. You're just mad, And so controlling your emotions, trading, I'm sorry, and I'm only 5 months into this. You guys are way more experienced than me. I personally think this is a stupid number. I think it's 99% of it.
That what, psychology?
Yeah. I think being a successful trader, I'm sorry, I don't know if that's too much. 99% of it for me is emotions. 1%, I've got 10 guys calling out levels with me daily. I got 10 guys on group chats. We're all talking as a family. If you can find that, all you need to do is control your emotions because someone's going to see something that you don't. He's going to see something that he doesn't. And then you guys are all going to trade together and you're going to do well,
Yeah. I completely agree with you. That's why I nerded out and I'm hosting a trading psychology podcast because people don't give it enough weight. There's so much out there about new strategies and indicators and follow this guy for levels. But I'm sorry, that's a dime a dozen. There's so many successful strategies on the charts. What you have to do is figure out who you are and how fast you're resetting and if you honor your rules and if you use the lockout parameters to protect your accounts over time. And if you do allow yourself to have some grace to take a lesson and not hold on to it and think that you're never going to win. And then you sit in that terrible roller coaster. I completely agree with you on that.
Yep. And I know another statistic is 97 or 98% of all people are unsuccessful, unprofitable.
Yeah.
It's up there, right?
Yeah.
So we all need to give ourselves some grace. Okay. We're all doing something that is essentially impossible, but it's possible. And that's partially why me as a professional athlete that used to play baseball for almost 10 years, defied all the odds that you can possibly can in baseball. That's partially why I have a little bit of an ego, and I came into trading and said, I did it once. I'll do it again. I'll be that.
I'm here to stay.
I'm here.
Yeah.
I want to do this. I want to do this, and I will do this.
I think ego gets a little bit of shade in the world, but I actually think that you have to have a bit of an ego to be a trader, because you have to be able to be like, I got this. Like, I can go again. I want this bad enough. I can be the top dog. I understand that statistics are against me, but I have learned enough to fix myself and deal with whatever I need to deal with to get back in this game to make money, because you can make money at this. And I think you have to keep it in check, and you have to have a healthy approach to it and not oversize and over leverage and be ridiculous and not have risk management. But there takes some ego to get into it. And I like to think of it just as a healthy confidence, because you cannot sustain in trading if you're hesitant and nervous all the time, or you stay down when you're knocked down. You have to get back up again, which has to have some confidence behind it.
Two things: hesitant and nervous, right? It'll be hard to press the buy button again, because you're hesitant and nervous, and you don't have a little bit of that chip on your shoulder, like the little ego, just like, I got this. I'm going to enter right here. I feel it. You have to be confident.
This is my setup.
Dealing with one of my friends, and they're missing it. I'm like, bro, you see it. You're smarter than me, and you're missing it.
Take some.
And one more thing I want to get into, this a little psychology part of being successful and being a good person and being, I don't know, someone that other people want to be around when it comes to baseball and when it comes to trading. They always used to talk about clubhouse guys. In the clubhouse, you want to be a clubhouse guy. You don't want to be a guy that's all about himself, a guy that only focuses on himself and his success and kind of like preys on people's downfalls, right? And at the beginning of my career, being 17 years old, young, dumb, and was the best player in my area, I just went into a clubhouse with guy everywhere. They were all the best player in their area. Okay. And I'll admit it today, I was 17, 18 years old. I wanted other people to fail around me. I was like, so I look better. And that is not a way to live ever in baseball, in nursing, in trading, anything. Because when I changed my mindset with baseball, and it took a couple of years, actually, I had to mature. I had a lot to mature.
Yeah, you're young.
I started really wanting everyone to succeed. And I'm also a Christian, so that was another coming to Jesus moment for myself. Like, I wanted to see everyone succeed.
Yeah.
Regardless. And when that happened, it unlocked, I don't even know, a weight off my chest, lighter feeling pitching, lighter feeling on a daily basis. And that's one thing that I do see, at least in my Discord. There's some people in this Discord that are cheering for me harder than some of my own friends cheer for me,
Yeah.
And I do the same thing back. And that's why the profit flex is important, because yes, you could look at it, be happy for them. Heck yeah, Kevin Donut Roids, you just did 20 grand today. That's incredible. Happy for you. I'm going to be there one day, and having a negative attitude, and it'll eat you alive. And I would say you won't be successful with that type of attitude. And I don't know if that's too straightforward, but that's what I believe. And I guess that's what I'm here to talk about.
Yeah, please always be straightforward. And I completely agree with you, because I think that there is a lot of competition in this world. And to what end? You know what I mean? Like, no one in our Discord servers has enough money to move the market. It's not like you can be doing insider trading where you're pushing it up and you don't want them to know what you're doing. I'm sorry. The market is moving regardless of all of us in our Discord server. So let's put that in perspective. And there's enough room for all of us to win, and more heads are better than less. And so if you actually can embrace the team and support each other and recognize that someone who's been doing it longer is comfortable with more leverage. And I love the idea of cheering it on. I mean, Mike at Blue Sky, he'll drop 50K in a trade and people are like, that's amazing. I was like, it's incredible. He's been a trader for 25 years and created a prop funding company out of his success. So that is goals. But like, put it in your own perspective and be so freaking proud of yourself for making 500, because so many people lose in trading. And when you got people around you and like love the people who are killing it and support the people who are having a mixed day and just try to stay in your lane and grow in time and let it grow, I think is so much more positive and humble for the growth that this actually is a hard thing.
So with baseball, here we go, back to baseball. There's something that we used to get thrown into as an athlete and as a pitcher and as a shortstop or whatever. And sometimes they would move you into a different level. Maybe if you're at the end of your career, okay, they would move you up and give you this chance, right? And they call it sink or swim. All right. I'm sure all of us have heard that in some way, shape, or form in another aspect of life or career or sport even. But for me, it meant a lot. because it's just straightforward. You're either going to succeed and swim, or you're going to sink and you're going to fail and you're going to be done. At least in that moment for that team, or in that moment as a pitcher, or whatever it is, you adjust and you figure your life out after that. But I want to tell a story about how my wife got on my case, okay, about trading. Because a lot of the times, these players that get into these situations that need that sink or swim, there's a handful of them that do, sink. But there is a moment in which some swim and they thrive upon that pressure and they put it on themselves to figure it out no matter what. In whatever situation they get put in, they figure it out. And I want to kind of like correlate that in with right after April, okay, with my wife and trading, because we're making some big moves and some financial decisions. And, I knew what opportunity we had here in front of us for me to do this and the quick success that I did have, and then the L that I took in April. But, the fact that I still did that in the first month, I knew I could do it again. I did it once, right?
Right.
But she kind of put me in a sink or swim situation. And it's funny, a lot of the guys, this guy named Matt I trade with, he heard this conversation over Discord that my wife was having me. And she was a frustrated conversation. Probably should have had a private, but I did it. We have, I got things to work on too in marriage, right? And she pretty much said, "You're done. We're done. You're not doing this anymore. You can't just blow our money like that. And, you need to get, a 9 to 5. Another thing that we have to get into, like, I don't have a 9 to 5. I sunk. I was sinking or swimming in this, and I'm still swimming, and I'm so blessed and I'm so excited. And I'm took, 3 payouts the past 3 days. It's been incredible with Blue Sky. But she told me, okay, well, you know what? I'll give you like less than a month. And if you don't show me that you can make money on this, like, you're done. And all these guys are laughing. They're like, bro, there's some people that are years and they
You're
never
messed.
out. And I'm like, and she was serious, and I take her serious. And I know that, we have life to figure out. We want to have a kid. We're trying to have a kid and all this type of stuff. And I was like, you know what? Sink or swim, sink or swim. And I changed a lot of my strategy, mostly mentally, and like how I went in with sizing and all these things. And I went back to my roots of month one. So
Well, no, please. I just have to say cheers to all the trading spouses out there, because it is not easy to be on the sidelines of this and be like, yeah, I had to reset my accounts again. But I think that it's incredibly hard to be the spouse of a person in trading, because there is uncertainty involved in that. And that's where our potential reward comes from, is that uncertainty. But there's risk every single time you put a trade on. You risk backsliding and losing the account, or losing ground, what have you. So it is hard for the spouses to support us through that. My husband has certainly had the moments too, where he comes home and he teased for a long time that he didn't know what he was coming home to, because on my losing days, sometimes I would still have carryover at dinner time where I'm irritable and frustrated. And then there's the financial impact of resetting accounts. And so I do think that it's really hard. And I completely understand the conversation you had with your wife, because I feel like I've been in that situation on the other side of that. And I can respect that. It's hard. And the fact that you don't have a 9 to 5, gosh, I've been training 5 years and I still won't let go of my part-time nursing gig, because it's like a little safety net. And so I mean, cheers to sink or swim, because if you decide, it's the phrase, burn the boats, right? Like, burn the boats. You're not getting home. You're on this freaking land and you're going to deal with it and you're going to make the most of it and you're going to survive, or you're not going to survive, but the boats are burned. So move forward. It's a great point.
bless her heart and her thought process on telling me that. And, she's still learning stuff about me every day. I don't know if she thought that would kick me into gear because she knew that I've already taken profits 1 month. I don't know if she thought that. I think she was just looking out for the longevity of our family and our success. But, there's something to say for me personally, what that did internally, right? Swim as a pitcher, like, if something's not going right during the game, I have to make an adjustment. And if I don't make that adjustment, it's only going to get worse for me on my stats, how the coaches view me, with the team, all of these things at the highest level, right? So, yeah, what she said to me that day, it resonated deeper than anything ever has in something that I truly wanted to be successful at. And I locked in on a completely different level since that moment. And I would like to just speak on that for 1 second, because I have friends that do have day jobs that I've got into this. And I tell them, hey, man, keep that job and just learn how to trade on the side. And I do think that longevity wise, that's a great way to do this career, this potential.
It takes the pressure off.
It takes the pressure off. And that's probably the right way to do it. But I will have to say, there are individuals out there, and I feel like I'm living, breathing that individual. And I hope that I can continue to do this, day in and day out, starting tomorrow again, right? It's possible to put that much pressure on someone and you just lock in. And there's nothing else more important than being successful at this and not losing focus on your day job, focusing solely on this. I think it's possible
Because it matters.
And it's life or death. It's sink or swim. Again, I'll always say that the other way is the better way to do it. But I'm saying that you can do it this way, completely unorthodox, but it's possible.
It's possible. And you just have to there's a deeper level of commitment to that. And I want to speak to that for a minute about when you truly feel wholly committed to something, because your discipline, I think, is a superpower. And can you just speak a little bit about what that means to you and like grit and showing up and honoring your rules? Because I mean, obviously we've all blown accounts, but like, do you have disciplined rules around how you manage your day and what expectations you have for yourself and you don't break them, or do you break them, or how does that look for you? How are you evolving in that?
Okay. So I've seen a lot of people talk about like journaling and stuff like that. 5 months in, I've never taken a single journal. And I think because the way that I have felt in those bad moments of the rules that I now have created, I have a lot of mental rules that I cannot forget because of how I felt. Like I literally can't forget them. I don't need to write them down. Maybe you do. That's awesome. Someone else does. Write those things down. I don't. I know how I feel. I know when and where, what to do, what not to do, not to trade NQ, MNQ only, right? And so for me, there's like, you just want to know a couple of my basic rules that cause me to be, I would say, it's like a base level of rules that make me stay consistent on a day-to-day basis. Is one, always be up for open, not to trade it though. Just be up,
Okay.
right? I've blown too many accounts in my second month.
That
Trading-
damn April.
Dang April, man. Trading open. So one of my rules is get up, take a shower, do everything that I would do if I was getting a walk out my door to a job, like I did to baseball field. And then, get on the Discord, get with the guys, start talking about what they see. If they're in there, I'm usually like the first one in there because I take it, listen, I'm taking it too serious.
It's your jaw.
Yeah. There's another guy that's usually always in there. His name's Matt. He's not extremely profitable yet, and we're working together. So I'm really trying to help him. But that's a side note. Don't trade open.
How long? 15 minutes or what?
Yeah, 15-minute orb is my favorite.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I cannot tell you how many times I back tested with Matt, who I trade with a lot, and we talk trades and we're always texting and stuff. And we've back tested that orb like 100 randomized. How TradingView allows you to do a random date, random time?
Yeah.
We've done like,
just throw it out there. Show me NQ and open.
Yeah. Just incredible to me how accurate a 15-minute orb can be. And I'm not talking like get in on the retest and then hold all day. I'm a scalper. I look for 10 to 20 to 30 points a couple times per day, and that's it.
Just a quick pause before we get into this. Trading can be intense, and staying mindful during your session matters so much. That's why I created and am sharing a free 3-part audio experience that's helped me deeply. 1 for starting your day with calm intention, 1 to stay centered while you trade, and 1 to wind down with grace when it's time to stop. These tracks are yours. Just click the link in the description.
That's a very profitable system. And if you can get the direction down from the first 15-minute orb, then you know which direction you're trading. You just want to get in a good spot and lock it in before it turns on you.
Yeah. And one thing that I used to always, everyone I talk to when I do start talking trading is don't overcomplicate this. So one of my other things, like my rules, it's written somewhere in my office back home, is just don't keep it simple, stupid. Keep it simple, stupid. You see it trending up, don't fade the trend, trade with it. If it's going down, it just sounds like elementary stuff, right? What I'm saying, you all know this, but for some reason, this is the bottom. I'm going to catch the bottom right here,
Yeah.
And then you size in because you believe in it. No, that's not how it works.
Yeah. Keep it simple. See your spots, trade with the trend. Like, don't over leverage. Don't hold it forever.
Yeah. And when it's just chopping, fine. Trade the chop. Oh, it's staying in this range? Perfect. Just at the bottom of it, just enter in. And that's a little bit of the ego. You got to trust what you're seeing and you got to get in. You can't make money unless you get into the freaking trade.
Yeah. Do you have rules about how many trades you'll take in a day?
Yeah, it's 100% has to be less than 20 trades. And that sounds like a lot, but I used to trade like 50 trades. Now it's less than 20. And my most successful month was June. And if I looked at my calendar, it was less than 10 every day. It was like 5, 4, 2, 8. Every day was less than 10.
Is that including all of your accounts? Like you would do like one on one account and then switch to the other one? Is that your jam?
100%. Yeah. So I no more copy trading on any way, level, shape, or form.
Do you want to speak to the copy trading for a quick second?
On what aspect of how toxic?
Like why? Because there's just too much risk. Basically, you're just like multiplying your risk. And why would you want to put your psychology on the line to blow them all? Is that your main rationale for not copy trading?
Yeah, 100%. We all are going to have a bad day and we're all going to blow an account and we're all probably going to hold one trade that blows the account. We're just going to, I'll do it probably next month. I don't know. But all I know is you have to limit the time in between those events. That's how you become successful. You limit the time in between, right? If it's every day, that sucks. If it's every week, that's okay. That's kind of sucks. Once a month, we're talking, right? So the copy trading, I don't know. As a new trader, don't copy trade. And that's what I was told by the guy who taught me. And I strictly stood by that. Month number 1, not month number 2, and not month number 2.5, really. So once I went back to no copy trading, I don't know if it's a mental thing. It's 100% mental. I think everything's mental in this. My success went through the roof again. Through the roof.
That's amazing. And you're not trying to be like a hero, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, but you're trying to like get a reasonable amount of profit and lock it in for that account and then see if there's another opportunity for your next account. And so you're just letting it grow over time and you're not trying to be crazy with it. You're trying to like make some profits.
Exactly. Yeah. And it does add up. This is a marathon. It's not a sprint, So yeah, that's copy trading can be extremely toxic for a new trader because you just want a generational wealth right away.
So when you talk to your other traders in the group, are you there all day for the entire New York session or do you take time off in the mid session? How do you gauge when not to trade and what does that look like for you as a like full-time trader basically?
Yeah, I'm available all day long, like to trade for myself. I'm available all day long to talk to people. I'm available to teach people that want to know what I know. When people message me and say, Luke, how are you doing it? Can I just watch you? Yeah, I'm available. Like I'll buy an eval just to trade with someone. And that's just because I love and I'm passionate about it. I'm probably too passionate about it. So my day to day, yeah, I'm available pretty much all day long. And now I trade, we do Asia quite a bit too. Like when at 3:00 open on the West Coast, 6:00 here, we're pretty much live in there with like a handful of guys that are like just getting done with their work days. That's the time that they're allowed to trade. So I'm in there again. And that's just how it goes. But I won't. I won't. When I'm done for my day and I hit my goal, I will not trade again. I'll literally use that lock button like I'm a child. Like there's no point to, if the markets take what the market can give you, don't give back to it. So I'll buy evals though just to feel something. Sometimes I think we've all heard that. Oh, you're trading just to.
Yeah, we've all done that.
Yeah. So I'll buy like a really cheap eval just to trade with people because it's hard for me to lock in with helping people and talking trades and all this kind of stuff that you're referring to, like talking to other traders. If I'm not actually trading an account.
Yeah. If you're involved in the price action, but you're not actually like clicking buttons, it's not as real. There's not as much skin in the game with it.
Oh, and back to baseball. You ready? We used to do things that were game-like all the time. I would have my teammates, if they were okay with it, when I was throwing bullpens, practicing in between my starts, I would beg these hitters to stand in the box for me. Beg them. A lot of pitchers won't want that because they're there to build confidence in their bullpens. And if you have a hitter in there, it's a little nervous. It's a little nerve-wracking having your own teammates stand in there. And if you hit him, he's going to get hurt potentially. You don't want to do that. So I used to do it. And that was like my game like I have to pitch right now practicing like I am in the game. And that was put a hitter in there. So I know where to let go of this fastball and where to feel this curveball, blah, 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 all that stuff. AKA if I'm trading with the boys and I'm already done for the day and they want to trade and they want, me to not lead. I don't believe in like one person leading trading at all. I believe in all of us collaboratively looking at trades. I got to be on an account to talk to them and actually care. to help because I can't care on a freaking demo account.
Yeah. Okay, I love that you said that because having skin in the game changes it. And if you really want to progress your psychology, you have to put a little bit of pressure on it if you're going to figure out if you can hold or fold. And so by trading in demo for a long time, I actually think that holds people back. And by trading like one micro, I think that put a little bit of challenge on. And then, I think that you can feel and experience it so much more and you test your psychology. And that's how you can kind of progress through it and experience your resistance points and figure out how to work through them as a trader and hold steadier. So skin in the game, I think it's a game changer for how quickly you can progress.
Yeah. Hot take. I think you mentioned a little bit about demo right there. I'm 5 months into this. I bet you a lot of people watching this have been trading longer than me. I don't care. Demo, dumb. Dumb. The dumbest thing. I never practiced on a demo in when I was learning in that first couple weeks through the stuff that I was given, like all the material, I went right into an eval when I was done because I'm like, why am I going to waste my time on a demo? Like, I'm just going to get right into it so I can know what it feels like. Because guess what? I've done demos as a joke, just to prove my point. You feel nothing.
Yeah, it's nothing at all. You're just clicking. You get over leveraged too.
I don't even care if you say, I'm going to put my daily loss limit at this and I'm going to treat this just like, yeah, whatever.
You're not tested at all. Yeah.
You're not testing yourself.
I think demo was a thing before props were a thing. I think demo was how you learned before prop funding companies existed and it was real money or not trading. And so that gave an opportunity for people who were brand new to it to figure out how to buy and sell and leverage and how things can compound. And so I think there was a place for it back then. But in current day and age, you can get an eval for so cheap. And then you actually do have skin in the game. So you're actually starting to your momentum forward potentially, and you're actually starting to test your psychology. So the growth actually starts to happen once you get into some of that leverage.
100%. Yeah. I mean, I think it's cool to like go on there and start learning how to press buy and press sell and how to set a limit order and set all that type of stuff. That's cool. I get that. But using it like for your psychology, like I'm going to trade this account like I would my fund or my eval, I completely disagree. I'm sorry. I just don't agree with it.
I appreciate how you're so honest with your experience because you are relatively new to the trading scene, but you can tell that you have been living and breathing it pretty steadily and pretty heavily. Because so you're kind of like front running your experience. I mean, if someone can only spend an hour or two a day because they have this full time long shifts, it's going to take them longer. Whereas if you can really put in the hours and the reps ahead of time, you're going to build that skill a lot faster. I think every back testing session and every trading session builds your skill. So the fact that you've gotten all that screen time, do you agree that's really helped you with your progress?
Yeah, I mentioned that on the Blue Sky with Justin as a result of where I'm at today. I feel like I got at least a year's worth of experience in April, right? I blew 80 evaluations, everybody. I know someone who's never even bought 80 evals in 1 year. Okay, so I don't know if that's a healthy way of learning how to trade or learn how not to trade in 1 month. But I feel like for me as an athlete, someone who has to make quick adjustments on the fly, on the mound, that 1 month of what I did horribly, I've made that adjustment. And my goal as a lifelong, hopefully trader, that 1 month was a really quick adjustment, right? In the moment, it wasn't. I felt like I was in the freaking trenches, right? I mentioned on the other podcast, my friends all made fun of me about it, but they all were like, true. I was like, I cried in the shower that month because I was like, what am I doing? Why am I keep making the same mistake over again and over again and over again? But in the long-term scheme of what I'm doing here, doing podcasts now, hopefully, move forward as a trader, it's going to be a really quick adjustment.
100% quicker than honestly like everyone else. And so maybe people want to say some kind of thing about how many evals you went through, but you expedited your progress because you took a whole lot of lessons. And if they have big comments, they've done it too. We've all fried over trading if you've been in trading longer than like a minute. But I think that what you did really expedited it. I mean, I've blown more than 80 accounts for sure as a trader. And I think that, you have to take the lessons however many times you need to take them to actually pivot and grow. But I think that these days, like what you said, just was so inspiring right now, because in the grand scheme of things, when you're a very successful trader, hitting all of your goals and smashing it and finding new goals you didn't even know you had in the years to come, this will be nothing. It will be a teeny tiny blip. So if any trader is still in the moment where they're in their downward turn, like be inspired, because whatever you're experiencing can just be a blip if you keep at it and improve.
Now I want to say one more thing that I was a hot take on the other podcast. I'm going to say it here again. I'm going to say it every single time someone talks to me from this day forward, because again, the guys were giving me a hard time about it, but they're like, that was a little straightforward, but I see what you're saying. If you feel like you want to quit, right? And this isn't for you, quit. Because that month I lost 80 evals and I cried in the shower. And I was like, what am I doing? Why am I making that mistake? There wasn't a single moment where I said this wasn't for me. Not one moment. And I blew a lot of money that month. And let's have a little bit more disclosure because I don't care. I'm an open guy. All $8,000 was a credit card. All $8,000 I put on a credit card. And guess what? All the $8,000's paid off. If you feel like you're going to quit, I'm sorry. Just like being a professional athlete, like it takes a ton. That's what we're here for, to talk about the mental and the discipline and, being here and knowing you deserve to be here and you're going to do whatever it takes. If you feel like you want to quit, just quit. Go get a 9 to 5. There's nothing wrong with that. No shame in that at all. My wife, not built to do this. That's fine. Love her to death. She works a 9 to 5. Fantastic. But if you feel like quitting, just quit. Do yourself a favor because, this is what we talked about in the beginning. Don't forget 98%, 97%, whatever it is, fail. Yeah, it's really, really hard.
Okay, that is a hot take, and I'm going to challenge you a tiny bit because I mostly agree with you. But I
No,
think
please challenge me.
I want people to have a real hard look in the mirror. I think there's a period as a trader where you're losing money and you're buying evals on credit card because almost every trader I know has bought their evals on credit card.
Yeah.
You're buying evals on credit card and you're hoping you can pay them back before your spouse sees the bill. And you're trying to stomach yourself through it and cry in the shower so that you're not crying at the dinner table. There's a moment in trading where it's really freaking hard and you are taking your hits and you're not sure how it's going to go. And so I think in that moment, you got to have a come to Jesus moment, a hard look in the mirror and figure out, are you someone who weathers this or does this take you down? And if it feels like you can't get through it, I would say in that moment, if you're questioning quitting, face that conversation and that question. And maybe you can pivot and decide then that you'll never quit. But if you decide that you're not sure and you're really hesitant and you're scared and you're fearful and you can't get out of those negative ways, I do think you have a good point of calling it, because if you're charging a month or two on a credit card, if you charge a year on a credit card, you can get into a really dangerous situation. So your point is well received and I mostly agree with you, but I do think if you're debating it, really face the freaking music sooner than later and decide if you can double down on your commitment or not, because that can be a game-changing pivot point if you decide to go all in.
Yeah. So again, that's a hot take. I get it. I understand it, but I think that comes from being an athlete. And coaches used to always say, and you've probably heard in other inspirational talks I've seen on YouTube, if I want it for you more than you want it for yourself, then you don't even want it. And I've come into a couple little spats with some people in the Discord and these new guys that come in, and I'm still a new guy, right? Essentially 5 months in, and there's these new guys that come in, and I have a really small Discord that we just help each other out, and we just talk, and we don't charge each other anything. We're literally just in there to push each other forward and be supportive. And there's some guys in there that are complaining about how it's the guys just post about their wins and they're not ever helping each other, or they're afraid to get out there and ask us for help, right? And I've heard them say that, they're nervous, to get out there and ask for help. I lost it. I just lost it on this discussion. I'm like, are you kidding me? You're afraid and you're going to be mad at us because you're afraid to not ask us for help or whatever. Dude, I went out of my way. I'm still going out of my way every day to learn stuff. No one's asking me to do it. So again, it goes back to you really, really, really need to want it for yourself. More than anything, you need to show up and not expect handouts. Don't use your mentor as an indicator. Learn this intentionally. Don't use, do you know what I'm saying by that? Don't just
100%.
Go on YouTube Live and follow the same guy.
You're not trying to get a signal bot.
Yeah, no, that's not the way to do this. And I truly stand by that too. I don't think you could be a successful trader being a signal bot. No way.
I completely agree. I think that how you treat trading is going to be your experience. And if you have such a drive and a hunger that you don't even care how you look, you want to ask questions and you want to be in a room where maybe people are a little better than you and you want to learn from them and listen and ask questions and make friends and push deeper into that, because, the whole adage of you are who you surround yourself by. And if you want great things, you got to cut the dead weight and strive to be in rooms with people who are doing what you want to do and absorb from them, ask questions, get your answers, study what they're doing and modify what you're doing with someone who is wiser than you so that you can grow what you're doing. And that sort of hunger is what is a game changer for a lot of people. And a lot of people will hold themselves back in whatever kind of excuses they want to come up with for that. But if you want to learn and grow, there's a lot of people, at Blue Sky included, like we absolutely love it when people come and show up and ask questions and support people. And if you can have that room around you, then you can really accelerate.
Yeah, 100%. It's just the sacrifice that you need to make. And when you know it and you feel it and what I'm talking about, like wanting that, you'll know. You'll know what that feels like when you want it that bad.
And risk looking dumb and being the new guy for a while, because if you want to not be the new guy, you have to learn and figure things out and get your questions answered.
Yeah. There was another situation that I feel like I was extremely blessed for, like the Discord that I'm in as well, that I started in, and I'm pretty much in there 90% of the time too. I just have 2 different ones that I talk to like different people in. I was given a free trip to Vegas to go trade with all the guys. And they do meetups and they trade together and they talk the charts together, because being in person and, pointing at this and looking at is a little different than like a video, right? People are way more visual learners like that. And I feel like I was. And I was given the opportunity to go for free. It was like $2,400 value that I was like picked out of all the traders because of what I did in March to show potential. And so I was picked to go, and I was able to go trade with all the top traders in one room and learn. And that was a massive blessing. So I'm not saying like this was only because of me and I went out of my way for every single thing that I've learned. I was also given that opportunity that I took to, and I did everything I could to make the best of it when I was there.
Honestly, it's because of how you were showing up. From my understanding about human and how these things work, of if you show up and you are kind and good natured and driven and supportive and interested and showing potential and showing that you're not backing down and you want to be a part of a robust community, that would be the person you'd give the invite to, versus someone who throws shade sometimes or is inconsistent and sometimes isn't available and only wants to talk to certain people and not everyone. Like, there's an energy you can put out in this world, and a lot of times what you get back is based on who you are showing up as. And so that's a nod to, you don't know what opportunities might exist in the future, but what you can do is show up to your absolute best ability in every moment you are granted. And sky is the freaking limit on what you can do in trading and in life if you show up that way. And I think that's a great example of that.
If you want to reach out to me and just talk, like your struggles or whatever, go ahead. I'm free. I don't charge anyone because we're making money on the market. I don't
Yes. I want that energy to be out there of like someone who wants to genuinely support each other. Like, that's the best.
100%. Someone already reached out to me after the Blue Sky one. We've been chatting, helping her out with a couple things. She's really nice. She's in the group that I was in where I started now, and she thinks it's awesome. So I was like, yo, my Discord's relax.dad. So message me, whatever. I'll even put a group of us together and we'll just talk. Again, I'm not charging. I don't care to do that. I think it's fun to just help put other people on. Does that make sense?
Yes. Dude, I literally have a freaking podcast based around this exact concept of like, no one pays me to podcast. Literally, I like pay for childcare for my kids so that I can be in my office generally on cameras. But like, I want to have these conversations that I think could help someone. I want to bring on guests that are inspiring or helpful or supportive in some kind of way. And I want people to know that this is hard, but you can do it if you really manage yourself and show up. And so I am exactly in that same vein of like, I want to be present for these conversations as well, because I think that there's strength in community. And I really appreciate that you are offering that. I'm going to link in the show notes the Blue Sky Discord, the Blue Sky interview, so people can learn even more of your backstory, because we didn't delve into the topics that were covered there as much because Justin did such a great job with you. But then I love that you want to be available so people can hit you up and befriend you, because that's amazing. So I'll put that in the comments as well. Thank you.
I've met some really cool people in this already. Like I mentioned, the guy Matt, I trade with him every freaking morning, talk to him right now. He was texting me, he's at some lake ground. Like, we're like friends now more than trading friends, you know?
Some of my best friends are my trading friends, because you turn into a different person when you get deep in the trading world, and trading people get trading people.
Yeah. And I don't know, maybe I got really lucky, like, and blessed to meet the people that I met kind of right away. Because I think Justin talked about that a little bit. Like, dude, I went through 30 different communities before I kind of found my people, right? I went to one. Like, I got to say, that's pretty cool blessing and luck, right? There's so many cool guys in there. They all have families, and they're all just trying to break out of the matrix.
Yes. Dude, literally, I'm streaming this morning at Blue Sky, and my 4-year-old comes in with spy glasses on and a shield. And I was like, this is my situation. Like, we're all just trying to live our best lives and elevate our family and show up in whatever capacity we can. And cheers to good energy and letting us all grow and reach potentials together. I love that.
Yep. I just want to shout out Ichi for getting me to where I'm at. Stamp James, True from the Discord I learned from, True Trades, and Kevin and Matt and all those people. I had to put that in there for them because I know they're gonna watch.
You know what? When good people help grow us up, that they should get nods in this world. Like when you show up for other people and want everyone to win together and you want to grow those relationships, I think that that is worth call out every time. So shout out to them.
It's so cool how these guys want you to win as bad as you want to win. That's so important. You got to find those people. You got to find those people in this industry.
Having that good energy around you is so grounding as well, because you're going to have hard days. It will turn and somebody else can be really steady on a day and you could be having a really hard day. And you want to know that you have built a little bit of a safe zone there in order to be able to pour it out and get back on steady ground. And so the way that there's some give and take in the trading relationships that we develop, it's a really powerful and important opportunity. So if people don't have community, please do reach out to us, because it will steady you in this game and you'll go farther faster.
It will definitely steady you. Fun side note on the community, we're pretty out there when it comes to like posting about our wins and our losses. So we like to post when we do bad. Like I will literally post, hey guys, I went with 40 M&Q on this one like an idiot and blew the account. Let me have it. Right? People just lie to each, Luke, you're such an idiot. You were better than that. Like we have that a part of our dialogue as well, because we want to make sure that everyone is there for your wins. And when you don't do something well, you got to hear it. Got to hear it.
And put the lesson out there for real.
Yeah. You got to hear it like your coach would give it to you in baseball. He'll give it. He'll let you know. He'll ream you, right? You can't always just baby other traders. Oh, don't worry. That's fine. It happens to everyone. No. You're going to hear about it because you're smarter than that.
Well, and facing the music a little bit is kind of a good thing for momentum, because it's like, I don't want to do that again. And now that if I'm like putting it out there, it's a very real thing. Like I need to shake it off and behave.
Yeah. Another thing that I did in the first Discord that I caused a little bit of commotion in it, was I posted, and I didn't call anyone out directly except the guy that runs the cord, because I wanted him to have more, in my opinion, more of a transparency based Discord. And I'm only like 4 months into this, and I'm like, hey guys, all I ever see you guys post are wins, and I'm sick of it. Where are the losses? I want to see you, who you post, I'm passing 3 evals a day. He posts the same, multiple people, not just one, pass the same eval, oh, you passed. Okay, well, how many did you fail? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's not enough, in my opinion, transparency in this space. And that's why in my Discord, when we post, like, post your losses, we need to see them so we can let you know how stupid you are and also how great you are at the same time, because you shouldn't be doing that. So transparency, I don't know why people don't want to admit their L's. I admit it. I cried about it. I admitted I cried about it. Like,
cheers to that. Because you know what? When you're real, you can actually really move through it. And it's been an interesting experience for me to trade live at Blue Sky, because when I'll pull on, like, you can see my fails on the chart. That's the thing with trade seed. Like, they're all there. There's a little arrow every time I got in and out of a trade. So when I come on and stream Power Hour, I'm like, this one was a win. This one was an L. This is blah, 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 blah. And so I honestly think that that shows that you're a real human trader and no one is perfect. And that's kind of an important aspect of this to show.
The other day, I got into a 15-minute orb long, and it went short. And I got into it slightly because one of the guys kind of mentioned, like, oh, this could be a good spot, blah, blah, blah. Didn't really use him as a indicator, but I kind of did. I was like, all right, if he's seeing it, like, we're getting into it. I held that trade this was like last week, end of the week. It was like a brand new. No. I almost passed the buffer stage. I was literally like $300 away from passing the buffer.
Oh, God.
And I held that trade way too long. And I sized in and it blew. Told you I'm 100% human, but I passed 2 other buffers that day, so I justified it. I was like, okay, we got 2 buffers. I blew one. That sucks, but we're moving up here. Either way, my buddy, Ichi, Daniel, he messaged me later that day, like, we're talking? I have already forgotten about it. I'm on to the next thing. I'm looking to buy another Eval. The next day, I got 2 new funded accounts. He messaged me, hey man, like really sorry about like that call out earlier today. I didn't know that you were that deep into that trade. And I had a really fast stop loss and I didn't, right? And I was like, don't you ever apologize to me about a trade that I took with or without you. It's like, no, I appreciate that. Like that's the kind of people I'm around. They're literally apologizing to me about
Yeah.
me
Making sure you're okay. Yeah.
because they kind of like mentioned something that don't ever apologize to me about that. That was my fault. I posted about it right after that. I was like, yeah, I blew a buffer off that, blah, blah, blah. And that's just the type of people around. And I really appreciate that. But again, it's always my fault. Like I'm the one pressing buy and sell. Nobody else.
If someone wants to blame their trades on someone else gave them faulty information, you're never going to make it in trading. I'm sorry. That's my hot take, is if you want to blame your wins and losses on someone else, you don't have enough ownership in your game and you are not a trader. You just want to follow and make easy money. So if you win or loss and you want to like blame someone for the losses, like that's a sign that you do not embrace this and you don't care enough to learn the hard way and accept your risk yourself. Like, cheers to that guy for being kind, but you got to own your own trades, everyone.
He's an incredible human. I was like, can't believe you're doing this. Like, you make me love you even more, but it's not your fault. Don't ever apologize about that. I've seen people blame the market. Like, oh, the market's crazier than it ever was under Biden. I'm just like, well, who cares?
Yeah, we're trading right now.
We're just getting the crumbs, all the institutional and all, they're getting the most money. We're just getting the crumbs. Just take the crumbs,
Crumbs pay some bills, man.
Well, the first guy I learned from, he says, once you get the crumbs and then you get a lot of the crumbs and then next thing you know, you got a pie.
I love that.
Yeah, true.
True story. 100%. Like, don't get greedy in the beginning. Let it grow and it compounds in some kind of way.
100%.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for your time today. I'm so grateful that you, had the time to hop on with me, and cheers to like really good people in the trading space. And I think maybe it's shifting. I think when everything started blowing up with YouTubes and Discords, everyone was so concerned about optics and there was a lot of money making out there. But I'm hearing more and more, there's some really good people that we can learn from. I love that you found a strong Discord. I really am enjoying my work at Blue Sky because I really have befriended all the coaches there, and it's good energy, good trading, good technicals, good support there too. So I think that there is a shift going on, and you definitely want to make sure you're in a room where people are inspiring and helpful and supportive, because that changes everything. And you have been so generous with that too.
Of course. Yeah, no. And again, I don't want to just keep plugging Blue Sky too, but if you can get over the mental discipline of passing an evaluation and then building up that buffer, man, it changed the game for me. I've traded with a lot of props, and this one, I feel like I'm here to stay for a little while, at least, unless something crazy changes. I don't see that happening. I was just part of that alpha debacle. Don't know if you heard about that.
Oh, I was part of the original Apex debacle, so I know all about debacles.
Yeah, I just had like north of $4,000 in payouts from alpha get denied because they shut down that premium account.
Gross. No, I hate it when they change rules like that. That's so messed up.
Crazy. So Blue Sky is great. This was awesome. Thank you so much for having me and talking to me and my crazy thoughts as an athlete and now trading. So pray I can continue to be an example for a lot of people and what's possible and continue to do that. And again, if you want to reach out to me, it's relax.dad on Discord. We can put it in the bio or whatever. Just whatever. Message me. I'm available a lot. I'm blessed to be available a lot. That's so cool.
Well, and I just think that it's incredible to be able to share this space with you. And I honestly cannot wait to watch your trading career take off, because you've had a really strong start. And I think that your mindsets around it are a powerhouse. And so if people are struggling, I would encourage everyone to dig into their own mindset and be around these conversations, because it will change the game when you start to own it and shift and believe in yourself and show up like that. So great example you're setting.
So one more thing, just full transparency. Again, it's all possible. My wife told me, hey, $1,000 a week. That's all I need you to make, because I'm going to do $1,000 something a week. And then, we can have an okay life. Like, we'll be making money. And I was like, perfect. Right.
Yeah.
This week alone on Blue Sky payouts, $2,600.
Woo!
And it's Wednesday.
Yes.
So
yes,
it's just so bizarre once you just really give it a chance and lock in. I mean, you've heard that term a lot, but it's really true. So blessed. That's crazy. And yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to be transparent. Just again, not bragging. I'm just like, it's possible.
Yeah. These are numbers. Yeah.
I'm sorry to say it. $2,600 compared to like millionaires out there. Like, that's not a lot of money. But it really can be as a trader if you consistently can just set your mindsets to $300 a day, $400 a day, whatever it is, and just be consistent. It adds up. Freaking adds up.
Absolutely. Well said. I could not agree more. And cheers to daily payouts, because I love that for us.
I love that for us. Yeah.
Perfect. All right. Well, you have a wonderful rest of your day, and thank you for that. And I will be watching you as you become that millionaire trader in no time at all.
I don't know about that, but we're going to try our best. We're definitely trying our best.
Cheers. Thank you so much, Lucas, and everyone. Take care out there.
Thank you.